The internet is on fire, and the flames are being fanned by none other than Saucy Santana himself. In a move so shocking, so career-destroying, so unthinkable that fans can't decide whether to scream or hide. Private tapes allegedly belonging to JT have been leaked in the most vicious act of betrayal we've seen all year. This isn't gossip anymore. This is war. It all started with a single word, a single spark that ignited the inferno. JT went live, off the cuff, laughing with friends when she casually threw shade, calling Santana tricky. The clip was short, sharp, and instantly viral. Fans laughed, memes exploded, and the timeline devoured the drama like candy. But behind the scenes, Santana wasn't laughing. He was plotting. What no one expected was how far he'd go, how deep he'd cut, and how much destruction he'd unleash within hours. A mysterious account dropped cryptic tweets, fragments of conversations, blurred screenshots, captions like "she should have kept quiet." The fandom thought it was trolling until the first clip surfaced. A muffled video, JT's voice unmistakable, confessing things too raw, too scandalous, too private for the world to hear. The leak spread faster than wildfire, amplified by influencers, bloggers, and reaction channels who declared this the end of an era. But that was only the beginning. Because if the whispers are true, Santana isn't done, and what's coming next is darker, dirtier, and far more explosive than anyone dares imagine. The culture wasn't ready. Not Twitter, not TikTok, not even the diehard stan accounts that live for chaos. What was supposed to be a casual, tipsy moment on Instagram Live turned into the spark that lit a firestorm nobody could control. JT, one half of the city girls and no stranger to speaking her mind, laughed with friends on Live. Hair flawless, nails gleaming, sipping on a drink. The vibe was playful, light, until she said it. With one smirk, one roll of her tongue, she dropped the word that would shatter everything. Santana. He tricky, 6 letters. One word. And the internet went nuclear. Clips of the moment spread like wildfire. Memes flooded timelines. Stan pages cropped the second she said tricky and replayed it 100 times over. To outsiders, it looked like another petty little shade moment. Harmless. Funny even. But fans who knew the bond between Saucy Santana and JT, the years of friendship, the loyalty, the music industry grind side by side, felt the quake instantly. This wasn't just a throwaway insult. This was personal. At first, people thought it would pass. JT has thrown shade before. Santana has clapped back before, and they always manage to smooth things over. But this time, Santana didn't laugh it off. He didn't post a joke. He didn't brush it away. He went silent, and that silence was terrifying. Then, late that night, whispers began. A brand new Twitter account, faceless and anonymous, started tweeting cryptic warnings. She should have thought before running her mouth. Another, he's got the tapes. Screenshots circulated. Fans arguing over whether it was Santana himself or a troll chasing clout. Either way, the tension was unbearable. And then the first tape dropped. It was grainy, muffled, maybe recorded on a phone in someone's pocket, but the voice was unmistakable. JT off guard, venting. I don't trust half these people. They smiling in my face, but they praying I fall. The internet froze. Who was she talking about? Was it Santana? Uzi? Someone else in her circle? The clip was under 30 seconds, but it sent shockwaves across the culture. By dawn, it had millions of views. Bloggers scrambled to upload reactions, TikTokers chopped it into dramatic edits, and Twitter spaces filled with fans screaming theories. Within hours, hashtags #JT exposed and #Santana snaps trended worldwide. Blogs plastered headlines. JT secret recordings surfaced and Saucy Santana with the receipts. Santana didn't deny. He didn't confirm either. Instead, he posted to his Instagram stories a black screen with white letters. She called me tricky. I'll show her tricky. The world lost it. Was he admitting to leaking the clip? Was this war? The responses were instant, savage, and split right down the middle. Team JT dragged Santana for being a snake, while Team Santana clapped back that JT asked for it when she disrespected him first. The internet was a battlefield, and nobody was safe by afternoon. The second leak landed clearer, sharper, deadlier. An audio file allegedly from a phone call. Jade's voice, shaky but resolute. "I can't keep pretending. Everybody thinks my life is perfect, but I'm not happy. He doesn't love me like that. I don't even think he respects me." Theories exploded. Was she talking about Uzi? About Santana? Fans dissected every syllable. Some pulled up old clips of her arguing with Uzi, pointing to similarities. Others swore it was Santana, the he in question being her so-called friend. Reaction videos flooded YouTube. One influencer leaned into the mic, wide-eyed. "This ain't gossip. This is a breakdown caught live on tape." Another went viral screaming, "This man really pressed record on his own friend." Celebrities started chiming in. A rapper tweeted, "When loyalty dies, chaos lives." Another singer posted, "Don't play with people who got the receipts." Nobody named names, but the shade was obvious. Then the third bomb detonated. A shaky, dimly lit video surfaced, showing JT mid-meltdown, pacing a room. She dropped her phone on the bed, face streaked with tears, muttering, "He set me up. He's been plotting this whole time." The fandom lost its collective mind. If this was real, JT herself believed Santana was behind it all. Blogs jumped, writing, "JT claims betrayal and friendship in ruins." Fans screamed that this was no longer tea. This was annihilation. By nightfall, the internet was in flames. Spaces ran for hours, TikTok edits racked millions of views, and fans divided into warring camps. Team JT, calling Santana a snake for exposing a friend. Team Santana, insisting JT started it and had to take accountability. Conspiracy camp, swearing this wasn't Santana at all, but a hidden hand pulling strings to pit them against each other. And then, just when it felt like the world couldn't spin faster, Santana dropped another bomb. A smirking selfie with the caption, "I ain't even started." Fans gasped. The implication was chilling. More leaks were coming, worse than anyone imagined. As midnight neared, the anonymous hacker account returned, tweeting, "The next tape will ruin everything. Careers, friendships, reputations, everything." Minutes later, the account was suspended, but not before screenshots. Spread everywhere, the culture held its breath. What else could be out there? What tape could be so dark it would ruin everything? Was it about Uzi? About JT herself? About Santana? The cliffhanger was suffocating. The internet had only one certainty. This was not over. Not even close. The internet barely had time to recover from the first wave before part 2 of the nightmare exploded. What started as whispers and muffled recordings had now snowballed into a cultural meltdown. And the next morning, when fans woke up scrolling through their timelines, it was clear things had just taken a terrifying turn. At exactly 10 a.m., a brand new audio file began circulating. It wasn't vague, it wasn't distorted, it was raw and damning. JT's voice filled the recording, sharp with anger. "You used me. You've been jealous since the beginning. Every time I win, you waiting for me to slip. And now you're setting me up like I'm some joke." The voice replying was blurred and muffled, but the internet swore it was Santana. The cadence, the pauses, even the laughter in the background matched clips from his old lives. "Ain't nobody set you up, girl. You did that to yourself." Boom! The internet collapsed. Boom! The internet collapsed. Reaction videos hit instantly. Fans screamed, cried, broke down word by word. Some said it proved Santana had been plotting her downfall from the start. Others argued it exposed JT as paranoid, spiraling out of control. The debate was vicious, and the hashtags #JTVs Santana and #friendship in flames trended worldwide. But the real chaos began when the burner leaks dropped. Screenshots surfaced from what was claimed to be JT's hidden Twitter drafts. They weren't the funny subtweets fans were used to. They were confessions, dark, aching words typed but never sent. I wish I could start over without everyone watching me fail. Another draft read, people smile in my face while they pray for my funeral. The internet froze. Was JT secretly miserable? Were these planted fakes? Nobody could tell, but the screenshots spread like wildfire. Blogs screamed JT hiding dark struggles, and burner drafts shake fans. TikTok edits of the drafts against moody music racked up millions of views in hours. Meanwhile, Santana poured gasoline on the fire. Without naming JT directly, he tweeted, "Funny how they act perfect online, but got demons offline." Okay. The timing was surgical right after the burner leaks hit. Fans exploded, dragging him as cold-blooded while his defenders clapped back that JT opened the gates. By insulting him first, then came the FaceTime video. Grainy, like it had been screen-recorded by someone lurking. Jate's face filled the screen, tears streaking her cheeks. Her voice cracked. "If this ever gets out, I'm finished. They'll destroy me." The clip cut abruptly, but it was enough to send social media into convulsions. What was this? Who was she talking to? Fans speculated wildly. Some swore it was Uzi on the other end. Others claimed it had to be Santana, while conspiracy theorists argued it was a label exec. The ambiguity made it worse. Every theory felt possible, every outcome devastating. YouTubers posted hour-long breakdowns. One influencer gasped into their mic, "This isn't drama anymore. This is a life unraveling in real time." Another whispered, "We are literally watching someone crumble while the world laughs." And just when the internet couldn't take more, the fourth leak detonated. Emails allegedly from Santana to a gossip blogger. And the words were surgical. "I got more. I got tapes that'll break her for good. You want exclusives? Stay tuned." Screenshots of the emails lit up every feed. If real, they weren't just proof, they were motive. This wasn't accidental exposure. It was intentional, calculated, a betrayal designed to burn bridges and build clicks. JT remained silent. Her socials stayed frozen, her usual fiery clapbacks nowhere to be found. To fans, the silence was louder than any denial. It screamed of strategy or collapse. That night, a new leak surfaced, and it was darker than anything yet. A hidden camera-style clip showed JT pacing a dimly lit hotel room, muttering under her breath, "They want me broken. They want me finished. But I ain't giving them the satisfaction." Her hands trembled as she lit a cigarette, staring out the window like a woman under siege. The fandom erupted. Who recorded this? How did it leak? Was it Santana again, or some unknown enemy feeding the fire? The paranoia was unbearable, and then the cliffhanger hit, a single tweet from a brand new anonymous account. No avatar, no bio, just 3 words, "Tomorrow." The tapes. Within minutes, the account vanished, suspended. But the damage was done. Screenshots flooded every corner of the internet. Fans screamed, begged, panicked. What tapes? More recordings. Something worse. Twitter Spaces packed with thousands. Influencers promised emergency live streams. And TikTokers made dramatic countdown edits set to ominous music. The fandom sat on the edge of its seat, hearts racing, knowing the next drop wasn't gossip anymore. It was annihilation waiting to land. The countdown ended with chaos. Midnight struck and the internet erupted. The mysterious accounts promised tomorrow. The tapes. Wasn't an empty threat. Right as the clock hit 12, links began surfacing across Twitter, Reddit, and private discords. Screenshots flew faster than anyone could keep up. Fans crashed pages trying to download before they were scrubbed. It wasn't gossip anymore. It was a detonation. The first tape was a video, raw and unedited. JT sat with a friend, face bare, voice cracking under exhaustion. "I can't trust nobody. Not him, not even myself. It's all fake. Every smile, every post, fake. And if people knew the truth about what I agreed to, my whole career would collapse." The room collectively gasped. What truth? What agreement? Fans dissected every second, convinced she was referring to her relationship with Uzi. Others swore it was about Santana, while conspiracy theorists claimed it pointed to shady contracts and industry deals. Threads ran for miles, unraveling every word. Before anyone could recover, the second tape hit. This one, audio only, but crystal clear. Jate's voice trembling but fierce. He's been setting me up. He records me when I don't know, leaks things just to watch me suffer. And I let him in. I let the snake into my house. The fandom went feral. If the he was Santana and fans were convinced it was, this wasn't just messy drama. It was betrayal on a scale too dark to laugh at. Blogs plastered headlines. JT calls Santana a snake on tape and friendship explodes into war. Reaction videos popped up within minutes. Some shouted into the camera. This proves it. Santana been plotting. Others were skeptical. Don't be fooled. Leaks can be edited. But nobody could ignore the tension. The words felt too raw, too real, and then the third tape detonated like a bomb. A hidden camera clip, clearly recorded without JT's consent. She paced a living room, voice breaking into fury. You think I don't know what you're doing? You been jealous? You want my spot, you want my name, you want me erased so you can shine. But guess what? You can't erase me. The faint, muffled voice of another person bled into the background. Fans swore it was Santana. The posture, the laugh, the little interjections lined up with old Instagram lives. Suddenly, it wasn't speculation anymore. It was confrontation. JT face to face, accusing her supposed best friend of orchestrating her downfall. The internet combuste.twitter trended worldwide with hashtag Santana exposed. Hashtag pray for JT and hashtag snake season. TikTok filled with tearful edits of JT crying set against Santana's smirking selfies. Fans begged for someone, anyone, to step in and stop the bleeding. But Santana, he doubled down, posting a smirking selfie with the caption, "Ain't nobody lie yet." His comments exploded. Fire emojis from supporters, snake emojis from haters. Thousands of people begging him to stop. But the damage was irreversible. Brands began pulling out. A fashion collab quietly scrubbed JT's name from promo posts. A festival announced she'd no longer perform, citing unforeseen circumstances. Insiders whispered that labels were panicking, unsure how to contain the fire. Meanwhile, JT broke her silence not with words, but with silence louder than screams. She wiped her socials, deleting photos, clearing posts. Fans begged for a statement, a clapback, anything. But the empty timeline spoke volumes. Then came the twist nobody expected. A well-known blogger revealed an anonymous email had landed in their inbox titled "The Darkest Tape." They refused to share its contents, but teased that it made everything so far look like child's play. Screenshots of the claim spread instantly, throwing gasoline on an already blazing inferno. Celebrities piled on. One tweeted, "The industry about to eat one of its own alive." Another posted a cryptic lyric, "Snakes smile wide before they bite." Oh, fans lost their minds. Everyone felt the shadow of something bigger, something uglier, looming just ahead. Spaces ran for hours, TikToks looped countdowns, YouTubers streamed live breakdowns. The culture wasn't just watching. It was waiting, terrified, addicted, unable to look away. And then, at 11:59 p.m., the hacker account returned. A single tweet screenshotted thousands of times before it vanished into suspension. Midnight tomorrow. The darkest tape. Careers, reputations, lives. The internet froze. If everything we'd seen so far was destruction, then what was left? What could be darker than betrayal? Burner confessions, hidden recordings, and broken friendships. Nobody knew. But everyone was ready. The war wasn't ending. It was only spiraling deeper, and there you have it, the tapes are out. The damage is done, and yet somehow it still feels like the storm hasn't even peaked. We thought we'd seen betrayal. We thought we'd seen chaos. But if the whispers about the darkest tape are true, then everything up until now has been child's play. So listen carefully. Because this is where you decide if you're just watching from the sidelines, or if you're in the front row when the next explosion hits. The clock is ticking. That tape could drop any second, and when it does, it won't just be headlines, it'll be careers ending, friendships collapsing, and maybe even the truth about who's been pulling the strings this whole time. Don't wait. Hit subscribe right now and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single leak, a single meltdown, a single cryptic post before the whole thing comes crashing down. Because once it hits, you're either here first, or you're left piecing it together in the ashes. And I need you in the comments, tell me everything. Is Santana the mastermind or just the scapegoat? Is JT fighting demons, or is she being set up by someone even bigger? And most importantly, what do you think the darkest tape is going to expose? This isn't drama anymore. This is history unfolding in real time. Subscribe, comment, stay locked in. Because the truth isn't coming tomorrow, it's already here.